Today I will be showing you the 6 cards for what I called my retiring DSP class, only to notice that these DSPs are not retiring and the rainbow glimmer paper is not retiring either. So about half the cards have retiring DSP and half of them don't. But several of the cards do use embossing folders and die cuts and other supplies that are retiring. So it does show a lot of retiring product here. The first one I'm going to start with is this one, and then I think I moved on to this one, and this one, and this one, and then I kind of have them in my order. So I wanted to start with this rainbow glimmer paper card first because it's just so shiny and glimmery and very quick and easy. The rainbow glimmer sheets come in 12 by 12, and it kind of melds from yellow to orange to pink to dark pink to purple. And then I think there's also like a blue-green layer below that. So you get several shades. It's ombre, kind of fades from light to dark. So I thought I'd do a different portion to show you some different colors. And this gorgeous background die, I'm so glad Stampin' Up got into these, is from the Potted Succulents dies. So I have already gone ahead, because I did it for the card class kits that I put together. I put 6 glue dots just on the border there, nothing in the middle, and I'm just going to go ahead and actually before I put that down, I'm going to attach my glimmer paper to my card front. And you can use, whenever I use, this is our new Stampin' Seal. We used to have the same type of product. It was snail. You can also use liquid glue here. I like to line it up with the lower corners. I feel like I want the purple on the top, or the pink, purple, blue, like that. And I have a little bit of a border here, but that's okay because this will cover up everything. So that will cover up that bit of a border that's there. So then I'm just going to go ahead and use my fingernails to take off the background paper. Helps to have a little bit of long nails for crafting sometimes. And again, I'm going to line it up with the bottom corners. There. Oh, I like that too. That's so pretty. I love using DSP or specialty DSP like the foil or the glimmer behind large background dies. Then you get to see so much of that special paper. And, oh yes, and you might think, oh, you forgot your ribbon. But I actually love having it peek through. I forget which demonstrator. I would watch her videos and she would always, oh, it's Rachel Tessman. She always would have it on the inside. Then if you forget, you have that option and it makes the inside really pretty too. So I kind of do it on purpose now. So I did have that part planned to have that ribbon go on the inside. So then I'm going to turn it sideways so that the bow will be sideways when I tie it. And this is our fine art ribbon. It's very sparkly. And I can always scoot it down if it's a little bit higher, I think, than I want. It scoots down easily because I don't really adhere the ribbon to the card. And I can move it if I want to. Oopsies. Let's see if I like how this turns out after I fuss with it. Not too much. I mean, I won't fuss with it too much. Oh, that actually came out fairly flat. Yeah, I think I'm just going to call it good. Whoopsies, got stuck. And trim off my extra. fairly even. And then I just have one bit of stamping to do here. I'm just looking for my Have a Beautiful Day stamp set from the Beautiful Autumn. And I just used black because I thought that would be a nice contrast, black ink, I should say, with the colorful background. Yeah, I think that'll fit. So we have our Memento black ink. I always line up my paper on the grid paper, and then that helps me have straight lines. Beautiful. My cleaner thing is well loved. It looks stained, but it's not, and well, I mean, it is stained, but it doesn't come off. The color doesn't come off on your black. So all my ink is gone now. And then I did pop this up on dimensionals, so I just got a fresh sheet out. Use up this little bit of extra first. I misplaced my new sheet of dimensionals. I'm going to grab a new sheet quickly. Oh, I have a whole bunch of them stuffed in there. That's a, oh wait. Oh, these are the sheets. The full sheets. Okay, I don't want to use full sheets. I want to use regular. I'm just going to hunt for a bit. Just a second. I just had them, so I know they're here. Ah, there they are, underneath the pile of samples. Okay. So then I have my paper with my stamp, sentiment, and then I'm going to line it up kind of in the corner. And there we have that. So pretty. And I think I may have, if you don't want it to be quite popping up like this, a little trick, you can take either your snips or take your pick tool, that's what it's called, with a pokey end, and you can grab some glue dots and you can stick some underneath. I think I have one on my thumb too. Whoops. And then this can hold your ribbon in place so that it doesn't fall away from the card if that bothers you. There. I like how that looks actually. And so then that is our different version of the glimmer card. And then for the next card, also pretty quick and simple. I'm going to go ahead and do my stamping first so I don't forget. And I used this Tasteful Touches for 3 cards. So just saying hello. Right on there with some navy ink. can just assemble the card. So now, for those of you who got this class as a class to go, you have a full sheet of this DSP. I had a little bit left at the end, and I didn't need to have a full sheet, so I'm just going to put this here where it will definitely cover this center there. So this white layer is flat. And then, just taking a peek at my card here, this layer is popped up with some more of the dimensionals. I think I'm going to start with 6 on the sides and the corners, and I might just kind of come in here and give some, sometimes you're like, oh, am I wasting? But I just don't want this to be sagging in the frame part. So I'm going to go close as I can there and take all these backings off. Okay, and then also this one needs to be popped up, but only this part of it, really, not here. So I'm going to just keep in mind these ones need glue dots, because it is already going to be popped up on top of that side there. And then I will stick one in the middle and one on each side. Oh, I flipped it. Oh no, that's right, that's right. It did need to be flipped. And I want a bit up from the bottom. That looks good. And then the example, and some of you got these sprig type decorations, and some of you got these, it reminded me of Pocahontas for some reason, Pocahontas leaves. And then you can also tuck those on, or adhere those, I should say, with a glue dot at the base. Glue dots are great for wooden elements. And then we'll just kind of tuck this somewhere around the dimensional on that side. Oh, I love it. Just love these simple cards that still look so sweet. And then I love this background. It's like a sweater, textures, tasteful textures, sweet. So I'm going to do it on the envelope as well. And so you're going to take your glue or adhesive and go as close to this as you can, so that when you close it, it doesn't pop away the paper from the side. Okay, so, and then I start in a corner. Try to cover the crease, because when you fold it over, it will be perfect then, and you won't have any gap. Alright, and then I'm going to sit real quick, hopefully you can still see. I was looking at my video I had my camera flipped so I could see it, but my back is hurting, so I have to take a seat. I just don't like being down here where I can't make sure I'm in the frame. Alright, and then on the other side. I think I gave you guys slightly bigger ones that you will need to trim all the way across. So the dimensions for this envelope flap piece are 6 by 2.5. I always thought it was 2 1/4, but it's not working, and I like having some extra to work with, so I made your guys' 2.5 by 6. So then you have a really fun surprise when they, you know, get their card and like, oh, so pretty. Oh, it matches. At least that's how I envision it happening. I'm not sure if that's what people think or not. All right, and then this also uses the Tasteful Touches stamp set. Oh wait, no it doesn't. It uses Forever Fern. I got a little mixed up. Okay. Get out our small hello stamp. And this one is in Garden Green. And then while we're doing inks, we will also need Peacock and Pear. Pretty Peacock and Pear Pizzazz. And then we need our sample pieces. So first we'll do our stamping pieces and line that up. And ooh, it's very nice and dark. The beauty of the Class to Go is that you are using your own stamps, so if you want a different sentiment than what I'm using, you can personalize it to your needs. But just in case you have these ones, or you want to make it like me, I'm making sure to include that information. And the colors too. You can always do everything in black and it will be fine, but sometimes coordinating the color to your ink to the rest of your card just adds a little bit of fun to it. And then I need, well, I'll just move it up tiny bit. Okay, I need this one and this one, the two largest ones. I suppose it doesn't really matter which one you do in which color, but I did this one in Peacock and this one. Is it gonna fit on there? Yes, it is. Pear Pizzazz. So, and it looks like I did the Pear Pizzazz first. The order doesn't matter, but so I don't have to think about it, I just look at what I've already done. Make sure that's dark enough. Yes. And this one I have just tilted a tiny bit, okay, tiny bit to the, it's kind of so this leaf is straight up and down, which then makes the stem a little bit off to the right. And I'm just like a 1/4 of an inch from the left. Ah, pretty good. That's where I wanted it to be. Clean that off. Oh, a fun thing you could do is just, while you have it inked, do a little stamping on your envelope. I should have thought of that when I was making my sample. Okay, I'm going to do that off camera. And then this one was the Peacock. Such a pretty color. Oh, I think these are the retiring colors. We have 5 colors that go away each year and 5 colors that take their place, and they're called in colors. And I think this is one that's leaving, but it's so pretty. Get them for 2 years, so they last for 2 years. So there's always a pack of 5 that carries over, a pack of 5 that leaves and is replaced by 5 new ones. Okay, so our stamping is done. Oh, I think I lost a piece from my other card. And then I want to take my Whisper White No Cardin envelope, so it comes already cut for you with the envelope included. And I'm going to adhere my Pear Pizzazz cardstock. Okay. And then, oh, I should have done this for the ladies who bought the class to go. These die cut layers. Oh, so we had a couple different die cut layers for the class. So you might not have exactly one of these, but it doesn't really matter. Any of them will look great. I'm going to put some glue dots on the back for this again. Anything that's like an open, detailed, I just go with glue dots and put them where they fit. I don't mess around with snail or the dots of glue everywhere. And so this one I can actually put one in the middle because it has some spots there where it will be hidden. Okay, and these little gold accessories, specialty paper, they laser cut. They're from the Forever Greenery section suite. They will be going away. So if you like these ones, take a peek in the annual catalog for the Forever Greenery suite. And then this layer is popped up. I think it's a rare thing where I use a card, make a card that does not have dimensionals. Just really like it. I'm going to go sparingly. I'm going to make myself go sparingly and only use 5. This is my last sheet. I forgot to order dimensionals on my last order, and I'm very low. Okay, so then this should have just a tad peeking out of the green layer on the top and bottom. I made it a super thin layer because I wanted just a bit to show. And then I will also put this down with some glue dots. Glue dots are great for ribbon too. It's easy to take off and move around if you need to, and the ribbon hides them. Even if it's a little bit open, the glue dots are clear, so you won't be able to feel the glue, and the ribbon will hide it. And it's just, when you use snail, the ribbon kind of gathers up, or I guess we call it seal now. So I just, if I can, I use the glue dots with the ribbon. Got a little bit of a glue dot sticking to my finger instead of this ribbon here. Okay, got it. And I liked how this was kind of like off kilter a little bit, so I'm going to try to imitate that look. Ah, fell down too early. And then my hello, I decided to just go flat with this, I think, because I already had that layer popped up. And this one will fit just 2, I think. And then go straight on this piece. Oh, I want it to be centered a tad bit more than it was. There, that's better. Alright, I like it. Pretty fun. Let's check out these cards together with their different background pieces. It changes it, but you still have the basic look of the card, so that's fun. We're halfway done now. So then we will go to this card. This one takes just a bit more time, but I bet when I'm not prepping it, cutting them out as I go, it'll go a little bit faster, than I did when I was making it. So this one, so all of these except for the very first card with the rainbow glimmer paper, I copied from the annual catalog. It's a great place to go when you just want some quick ideas, and you don't want to have to spend a bunch of time coming up with your own designs or searching Pinterest or the internet for something that will work. The catalog is a great source of inspiration. So I punched out 5 dark green, or brown, and 5 of the light brown, and 5 of the sandy colored one. And then this is a die cut from the Tasteful Labels dies that goes with this In Good Taste paper. And this is one of, I think this is the only designer series paper that is carrying over from the current annual catalog to the new annual catalog that's coming out soon. And in the kits that I sold, I had the same, I think this is petal pink, and then I just had a petal pink layer on top. When I prepped it, I was forgetting, and I gave you a white, so you will have white on the inside and petal pink on the top, which is fine. I didn't want to cut all that paper again, but just so you know why it's different. And then this card. Okay. Let's grab. So what I did was I laid them out first. Oh, I didn't mean to put that down. If you haven't done that yet, I kept that separate for a reason so I could cut these off more easily. Oh, when you don't pay attention, the things that happen. So I'm just going to grab another piece of that petal pink so I can show you how I did it originally. So we're going to pretend that I didn't adhere that down. We're going to go like this. And so this one, because I didn't have enough to punch a fifth one, I just cut this out exactly in the middle. And I'm going to, I used liquid glue on this card so I could squish them around a little bit to fit if needed. So because this one is already cut, I'm going to put it down first. But you will have a whole one, and you will have some hanging off, and then you will just come along and cut the extra. And I'm going to save this one. Oh, it looks like it does. I'll just put it on later when you would do it. So then I'm going to grab, I'm just going to do it exactly like I did up here so I don't have to figure out the alternating pattern. Oh yeah, so this one's going to be about the bottom half. So then I'm going to flip this over and just put glue up here. And then when I adhere it, I'm going to leave a bit of a space. Yeah, still on camera. And there, see, that's why I scooted it over just a bit, and that's why I like liquid glue for this. And I'm going to leave that until I do this part and then trim it all at once. So I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue in this little section. And don't throw away the pieces that you cut off, because some of them you use later when you come to that color again somewhere else. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit before I cut it, and I'm just going to come over here with one of these medium browns, and that's going to be on the right half. We'll draw a line in the middle and just kind of fill it in. And space it just a sliver away. Oh, smushy! Smushed it too much. But that's okay. It's going to be covered up. And then don't rub it when you take your hands away. Oh, and the punch that I use, one of my favorite punches, is the tailored tag. It's just good for masculine, but it, used with the right things, it can still be a feminine card. I do use a lot for masculine things because any sort of frilly or curvy parts on the punch sometimes seem feminine to me, but this is good, solid masculine lines. Okay, and then this one will be in the middle, and just easy fill the whole background in. Okay. It's a bit easier when you just have to put the whole thing down. You don't have to worry about which side needs the glue. Most of this gets glue, just not the end that will hang off. Okay, and then a solid or dark one again. And the whole thing, I have the whole thing on here, just right up to the edge. So pretty. I love different grains of wood or shades of wood, if that's the correct expression. And then this one gets covered up, but because I have dark and dark and a light, I know this one is going to be a light wood. Just in case you place yours slightly different than mine, we'll go ahead and stick this down even though it gets covered up on my card. And then a light one. Now this is where I'm going to go ahead and cut now, because then I will use this other part right down here. And it's had enough time to dry that when we cut it, it won't pull on and move the piece. So then just cut there and then cut down the side, and you will be able to use that other half. Okay. That we will not save, it's too small. This one we might use. I think I did give you an extra so that you could, you know, if you felt you just didn't have quite enough to use, you could use a new one or save this one. So you can just keep it to the side until you know if you want to use that or the extra. So then this one will be the part that goes here. And so I need this part with some glue. Okay. I'm going to leave that there and glue some more. So then this looks like the lighter one, and I think that I am going to use this part because it looks like I have exactly in the middle and that it will fit. Well, maybe not. Maybe it will fit still, but I will have a little bit to cut off, but I am going to use this piece so I can save my other piece. So then I'm going to just line up this point with this point. Then I will know if I need to cut any off. There we go. Yeah, I'll just have this little tiny bit to trim in a minute when it dries. And then we do another blonde one. That's what it looks like. It just looks blonde to me. Blonde wood. I don't know if that's a real term or not. Okay. Gonna get glue or covered up most of it, and it dries clear, so it will be fine. And then a dark one. This dark one has a really pretty pink and white textured paint design on there. I love copying from other people because I never would have thought to put a dusty pink back here. I would have used white, but the pink really looks cool with all these wood pieces. So then I'm going to take that little other half of that dark one that you would have cut off, but I had to cut ahead of time, and I'm going to glue that down here. I have butterfingers a lot. Since I've been pregnant, I feel like I've dropped a lot more things, but only 2 weeks left, so hopefully the clumsiness will end. And I'm gonna have a bit hanging off, and soon. I should finish my sentence. Just because of how I had these must be a little more spaced out. I might have a little bit to trim on this one. And then the medium brown. Go in that space. There we go. Oh, scooting it. They're sliding a lot. Okay. And if it's not perfectly lined up, there's so much of it, no one's going to be like, oh, there's much bigger gap here than there is here. So don't worry too much if your spacing isn't perfect. And then, yeah, just a little bit of this again. So yeah, I definitely I have extra one of each of these, like I was saying. But if you want to make it easy on yourself and just do it all and cut at the end, you don't have to save the other parts. You can use all of them. It's your card. Or you could like pop this on the inside or stamp on that or whatever. Be creative with that. So I still have to glue this down. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here on this corner. Just try something different. Okay. Got a little bit of glue smushed out, so I'm just going to clean it up with my finger. Okay, I'm going to turn it over and start with the pieces I know I didn't just glue down. Let those dry for a bit. And then that's one I just glued, so I'm going to do this one. Clean off my scissors. I guess I'm going to do this. Just cut slowly so you don't pull it with you. And you're fine. And then this one has just a tiny bit I have to trim. Try not to cut my cardstock and get a misshapen edge. Alright, there we go. You just look at it briefly and say, yes, good. And then just going to glue this. We'll have a thick front of our card, but that's okay. Be nice and weighty. Oh. Okay. Sometimes I turn it over when I glue a whole panel just to make sure nothing's sticking out, and it's not. I do have a little bit of glue on my cards, or my DSP, so I'm going to take my retired product that you can't buy anymore, but they might have in a craft store, adhesive remover, and just clean up some adhesive that I can feel but you can't see. Okay, and then I am going to move my extra pieces out of the way and do my stamping so I don't forget. And I have this from the Tasteful Labels dies I was telling you about, and I used the, oh yeah, I also remember, but I have it on here, Rococo Rose ink, another one of the retiring ink colors with that pretty peacock, and it has the good things in life are better with you, and that is our Tasteful Touches. Trying to center this so it's even when I stamp it. Pretty good. Clean that off. And then before I put that down, I have to do my denim ribbon, and this is cardstock from this Tasteful or In Good Taste, Tasteful Textures. They're all names kind of the same thing, but you'll find it in the catalog. And before I glue that, I want to flag some of the ends. I'll flag this end since it has a little bit not showing. I mean, then I'll cut off the white. That's what I mean. So I just cut up the center as high as I wanted it, and then cut from the corner and the corner up to that center point. And I have the ribbon down first with some of my glue dots again. So I start with one on each end. Oh, got on my thumb again. Yes, it came off. And then I'll do one in the middle. Ish. Okay. So then, in the bottom quarter of this card, it kind of is flush to the edge of the card with this end of the ribbon, And then just kind of, and it doesn't have to be straight, it can be a little bit up. And I'm also going to do this straight down with no dimensionals, and just kind of have that at the bottom, not all the way to the end of the card, so it looks, so you can see some of that ribbon at the end. And you have as much of that ribbon showing as you want. And then pop this one up. I hid my dimensionals again. There they are. I'm gonna go on the sides. Oh, double dimensional. Okay. And there. This one looks good with 4. That's how it curves. You don't feel the need to add tons of them. And then I want to have most of that showing, and a little bit of the, most of this showing, and a little bit of that blonde one. And just kind of pop it on there. Okay, let's see. Oh, this has a little bit of glue down here, so I'm going to put it up here and then see how it looks with the pink on the outside for both of them and different on the inside. I kind of like a change to white. It emphasizes the white of those papers. So hopefully you like having a white card base. Those of you who purchased this class from me, class to go. Alright, 2 more, and these should come together a bit faster than this last card. That one is really impressive, but it does take a little bit of time with all the gluing down and arranging of those pieces. Alright, the next one is, I love this brush, like painted look paper so much. It's just so pretty. It is from the Fine Art Floral. And I did another one with the DSP on the flap. I'm going to do that part first this time. Oopsies. My favorite design in that bundle of paper. This one I did make 2.5 by 6, so I will have a nice border to be able to cut and not have to worry about if I missed or if it doesn't cover all of the flap. So I guess 2.5 by 6 gives you some wiggle room. Maybe they made the flap slightly bigger, and that's why my old measurement, or what I'm remembering as my old measurement, is off. It's so fast and easy to do this, and doesn't use much of your DSP, and it just, oh my goodness, I love these colors. The gray with all the bright colors on there, can't get enough of it. Okay, and then this product I know is retiring, the Stitch Shapes, and I have used this so much. Ovals, circles, and squares. I use these ones the most, but these ones too. The squares I have not used as much, but I've still used them, and it just gives this little bit of detailed stitching along there, and they have, you know, they stack inside each other so you can make frames. Oh, they're just so useful. A very good starter set if you're going with some shape dies. So that's that one, and we need the yellow, the light blue, and my favorite side of the DSP circles to be up. So these are all the same size, 5 of them. And I'm gonna do this white layer first, and then pop it up on the rest of that. And then red. All of these are flat, so I'm just going to go quick with the liquid glue. Might want to wiggle them around a little bit, but this one's just like a 1/4 of an inch and an 1/8 of an inch. 1/4 from the side, 1/8 from the top. And then this one, this is also a fun one, this side of the DSP. And this one is mostly up to the same level, but a bit lower down, and then, yeah, like a 1/4 of an inch from the side. Kind of, maybe a bit more. 1/2 an inch. Because the blue one comes out a little bit farther than that. So, This one is next. Okay, so there's a bit of a space between the red and this one, and like a 1/4 of an inch from the left. Put that down about there. And then the peacock. Oh yeah, the red is poppy and the blue is peacock. And again, a space between the two blues. And this one comes out just a bit farther over. And then the white is the last one to go down on the top, with a little bit of a border onto the bottom. And this is popped up over the yellow card base. Oopsies. I'm gonna do these sides because it's so long. And then make sure my red is on top. This one is going to have a border of the yellow around it. And then this one we will use, I'm not going to do it on camera. I want to get the video over quicker and I don't want to have to put the heat gun on, but you use your Versamark, which is the sticky ink, and then you sprinkle the white embossing powder over it and tap your extra back into your jar, and then use your heat tool to heat that. And so I will do that and then put that on later. But first you would use your 2 strips and loop them together, and it's going to kind of cross over like those, what are those ribbons, the awareness ribbons, I think is what they call them. I ran out of this braided linen trim, so I'm using this fine art again, and I'm just going to kind of stick it down with glue dots. And you can also use glue dots for yours. Okay. And this is about where yours would be as well, kind of onto the DSP and the red circle, as much as you want. Oh, I think I need a glue dot in between my ribbons so they don't fall apart from each other. Yeah, I want that to be held down like that. And then I'll pop up my, after I do my embossing, my heat embossing, I will flip it over and pop that up and stick that right down on the top there, and you'll have your card like that. So this one I'm going to pop over by my heat station so I remember to finish it. Okay, last one. This one is a fun one because it's oversized, and I'm going to actually make the custom envelope for it first, so I can get that out of the way. I need a envelope punch board. For those of you who bought the class from me, I have already done this for you in case you didn't have this, but you'll need to assemble it correctly, so just hang this for a second. So this card is 4 1/4 by 6 1/2. They don't have a 4 1/4 by 6 1/2, but they have a 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. So we're gonna go with that. That's the card size up there, and then it goes over to paper size, which you need to make the envelope. 8 7/8 by 8 7/8 is what this is cut to. So you did need a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and this is retired. I was very low on my supply of 12 by 12. I didn't think of how big my envelope paper would need to be, so I kind of got the best that I could to match with what you guys have. And if you don't like this side, you can just, make it be white on the outside. So then the important number we need, the score line, is 3 3/4. And we just need that for this first score line. We're going to slide this in to the 3 3/4 and we're going to punch it. And then we're going to drag this out to the end of the board, and that's the last time we use the 3 3/4. Now we just line up the score line we made with this score guard here, and we just punch and snug this in there and drag it out. And do this and drag it out and do this and drag it out. My battery on my phone's at 15%, but it should be able to finish, so I'm going to go as quick as I can. And maybe I won't quite put the last one together, but show you, because I would hate for it to cut off and then not have the video saved. Okay, so then you're going to need this stuff, the super sticky, what's this called? I can't think of it, but it's really, really sticky. So then I'm going to put this along these two inner flaps, small ones, and fold that up, and then you're going to put adhesive along these top ones, so that when you're ready to mail the card, then you take those off and adhere it down so that it will be closed. So that's how you do your envelope. You're going to want to use this stuff. It's super strong, the strongest adhesive we have. I think there's a Seal Plus you could probably get away with. I don't have that one, but I just always with envelopes have used this stuff. Okay, so then, oh yeah, this is what some of you have. I like that pattern. We're going to take our extra long card, and you're going to glue down, this is the fine art folder. You'll glue that one down, and you'll glue this one down on top of that with liquid glue or the seal, whatever one you have. And then I fussy cut your flower for you, and that would be snail. I did not pop up the flower because I stamped the I'm thinking of you in black ink. Oh no, espresso in brown, because it's gold, so I used brown. And I popped that up with the dimensionals, and so that's up here. Oh, before I did this, I wound this, I put glue behind here, and then I did kind of like a crazy and just stuck it on like that and stuck it down. And then I did the pop-up with this one, and then I included a little strip of these three, I think they're called gilded gems, and I always do odds, so I did 2 down here and 1 up there, and that's how you got that card. And it's just a bit longer, an inch longer top to bottom, and then it fits in the special envelope that we made. And you might need a more shipping. I'm not sure if this exceeds the 55-cent stamps that we get or not, but I think this would be a really special card, a little something different. So there you go for that one. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off before my card or camera dies. So real quick, one more look at the cards. We have the super fun oversized card that's stuck in the envelope, and then the circle card, and the tailored take card, and the gold one, and the sweater card, and the rainbow glimmer card. So I hope you enjoyed this class, and if you have any questions about which products are retiring and which are not, I plan to do a blog post on this where I will tell you which products are going to be going away at the end of the month to make sure you have a chance to get those if you'd like. Well, thanks for purchasing the class if you did, and thanks for watching the video if you watched the video and didn't purchase the class. Bye!